Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 40 and 5 Infinity Slayer gameplay taking place on the map Solis. You might be thinking to yourself, how on earth are you going to pull this back with a deficit like that, with a join in progress? Major's probably gone and uploaded the wrong gameplay like a douchebag. And at the beginning it will definitely feel like that to you, because I die like 3 times in a row, I start off horrifically, and then suddenly I just come across the realization that the enemy team really aren't that special. It's just that my team is even worse. The enemy team are a bunch of scrubadubs. My team are even more scrubadubs. It's a scrubadub extravaganza. I'm telling you guys. Something's wrong with this lobby. But yeah, at the end of the day, I managed to pull off the comeback. It's a pretty enjoyable game, to be honest. This is one of the gameplays that I was just like absolutely hyped in, and I started picking up momentum towards the end. I got a couple of sweet railgun kills, which I always love. Getting railgun clips and like triple kills and multi kills, like it's just the most satisfying feeling in the world. So I hope you guys enjoy watching that gameplay. I'd also like to briefly apologize for my period of inactivity. It wasn't me getting demotivated with Halo 4, it wasn't anything like that really. I was just getting my room repainted, so it now looks quite a lot nicer. It was like mustard yellow, which I suppose was more in keeping with the Major of Mustard theme, but now it's like blue, which is like my favourite colour. It looks quite nice. There's a bit too much blue in this room, if I'm being honest with you. I feel a little bit too calm. I'm too calm. I'm now uneasy with the calmness that is going on in this room, so I might have to just go mental tonight. But we'll see. But yeah, I've actually been enjoying Halo 4. I've been streaming it a lot, you know, prior to me having to get my room repainted. So I was kind of annoyed when I wasn't able to play it. But it did mean that I actually got to go try hard for a bunch of gameplays. And you guys are going to see them over the coming weeks. I got some pretty sick ones ready for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But I had a topic that I want to discuss with you guys today, and it is regarding Halo Reach. Now, Halo Reach is something I usually avoid talking about at all costs on my channel, because it is not a game that I particularly enjoy. And actually, the topic of this commentary came to me the other day when I was discussing film sequels with Ubernick, and you know, I was thinking about The Matrix, how that got a bit more disappointing with each entry. For me, Toy Story, I always preferred the original. Lion King, preferred the original. I don't know if it's nostalgia or the quality of the films declined, but it just felt like sequels would get more, they would kind of depreciate as it went on. And then I started thinking about gaming sequels and what was potentially my most disappointing game sequel of all time. And for me, I have to give that award to Halo Reach. That doesn't necessarily mean Halo Reach is a terrible game. It's just that the standards set by its predecessors and the level of quality found within Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3 was just absolutely, it just completely overshadowed Halo Reach's contribution in my honest opinion. And I want to go over why that is today, and some of the main reasons. And I'm not going to go over, you know, DMR Bloom, Armor Lock, because that's beating a dead horse by this point. We kind of understand, you know, the relevance of why that was a bad game mechanic, why it detracted. It doesn't stop it from detracting from the game mechanics, but I just don't want to go over it, because you guys know, you guys understand, you've probably been annoyed by it yourselves at some point or another. But I want to go into the deeper meanings behind why I think that Halo Reach was a letdown and why I thought that it didn't live up to its predecessors. When I look at Halo Reach, you know, Halo Reach took this more casualized approach to how they created their games. They wanted to make a game that probably felt more fun and more enjoyable for the Bungie employees to, you know, play in their free time. They were creating a game for themselves. And in some small way, they kind of lost sight of the bigger picture of what makes a great Halo game, what made Halo 3 such a fantastic addition in the series, in my opinion. You know, you might go down to the nitty-gritty details and pick out stuff that made Halo 2 a more successful game, and a more refined game, maybe. But in my opinion, Halo 3, they had such goodwill towards wanting to create a sequel that lived up to the legacy of Halo 2, and even if it didn't in some ways in your minds, I feel like they had the right idea out the gate. They had the right motivation and the passion to try and create a game, and maybe if it fell short in some areas, or if it didn't have the ranking system that you wanted it to, it was definitely created with really, really good intentions and good devotion to the franchise in general and to the fans. And in Halo Reach, I didn't get that feeling whatsoever. You know, there's these constant interviews, and one of the counter arguments that people often present to me when I say I didn't like Halo Reach is, the thing is, Halo Reach was created as a game that you could enjoy on the couch, that you could sit there eating pizza, talking smack with your friends, and it wasn't necessarily about wanting to be the best. It was a fun experience. It was a casual experience. And I think what annoys me about that is I can't help but feel that Bungie wanted to place a label on what they deemed fun, and in a sense, they were kind of sending out the message that the competitive player's idea of fun and enjoyment and fulfillment out of a game wasn't the right idea, wasn't the fun idea. You know, in my experience, my funnest Halo memories come down to getting a Mountain Dew, getting some pizza, you know, just like they say, but sitting down and grinding out for a level 50 in a ranking system. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm trying to place upon you guys, the audience, and say, that was the way of having fun, you know, that was my way of fun, so it should be yours. What I'm saying is, Halo 3 didn't put up barriers and didn't put up boundaries of what was perceived to be fun. They didn't place labels. You went into that experience and you had the game that you wanted right out the bat. Were you a forger? Were you a more creative person? Well, there you go. You've got your forging options, and they're far, far, far more improved over any other game's forging options thus so far, or cartographer's options. Are you a campaign guy? Well, you've got the campaign theater. You've got 4-player campaign with different characters, and you've got a well-explored lore and a rich universe. Boom, done. And then you've got the multiplayer, you've got ranked and social split. This is another one of the points I want to make up. They kind of created a problem that they already had a solution to, you know. A lot of people, I feel like the intentions of Halo Reach was like, you know, let's not make it this super try-hard, serious experience. Let's make this more about goofing off. And the thing is, Halo 3 already had that down to a T. Halo 3 had the goofing off aspect. It had social matchmaking, where you had Action Sack, where you had the Social Slayer playlist, which often put in Team Rockets and ridiculous playlists of that nature. But it didn't offend anyone, because you still had the choice of going into ranked separately and having an enjoyable time. What I feel like Halo Reach did was it said, yo, you know, like, how do you like to play your game? Because we don't really care. We want you to play it the way we think is enjoyable. One of the reasons why I believe that Halo 3 is viewed in such high regard and placed on such a high pedestal by not just the Halo community, but the gaming community at large, is that Halo 3 managed to attain a new level of credibility, of cultural relevance in the greater scheme of things. You know, with coverage on ESPN, billboards all across the globe, and names like Pistola, Ogre 2, and Walshy becoming minor celebrities in their own right. Whilst the media can't help but twist the ideology that being a gamer means that you're a basement-dwelling, mountain-chugging, stay-at-home, unemployed, essentially loser, they like to perpetuate that, and, you know, culturally, there's a lot of weight behind that idea. Halo 3 came out and said, hey, you know, do you want to take that game to the next level? Do you want to make something worthwhile of yourself, earn paychecks? And, you know, it basically legitimized the genre and legitimized the industry in a way that no other game really had to that point, you know, televising it and bringing it to the mainstream. And for Halo Reach to come out and basically say, hey, you know, that was kind of a slip up by us. We didn't really want to give gaming that sort of exposure and that level of detail. We'd rather take things back and, you know, take out the ranking system, take out the tools which players could use to improve their gameplay. You know, it's like Bungie have this mentality that you know, they can't coexist. A competitive community and a casual community cannot coexist. They have to cut out one of them, and they have to make gaming this casual, wacky, fun experience, and competitive people will just come in and ruin that fun. So to an extent, it was almost like Bungie were viewing us as the buzzkills, despite fostering that community, despite helping them grow and helping them attain new heights, and making us feel like we weren't just gaming for pointless reasons. We had something to work towards, we had something to show for it, and we had something to express ourselves with. You know, if the Forgers, if the social matchmaking, if the pub stompers, if the BTB crowd, if they all have the rights to express themselves, then what do Bungie have against the competitive community expressing themselves? They shut us out. And that didn't feel too great, especially when it felt like such a pivotal role within the Halo community and such a pivotal aspect of the game to pursue. We weren't allowed that right anymore, and that didn't feel too great. Anyway, I hope you guys agreed with the commentary to some extent. Feel free to sound off in the comments if you didn't. But anyway, I've been Modest Major. Thank you for watching the com. Peace.